So Kendra G got her start in radio, and while she wasn't exactly a star personality, she was able to build up a 15-year stretch of appearances as a radio host. But in recent years, she's been in the spotlight for starting up her YouTube channel where she hosts a singles night and brings on men and women, mostly women, looking for quote-unquote love. And perhaps if she had kept it here, then she wouldn't be in a back and forth with Tasha K about a Negro she didn't even bother to vet properly before deciding to jump into a relationship with him.
After I literally was just being a good Samaritan by stating, after we were talking in the DM, it was very casual. I never had a problem with this woman. But a lot of people be underlying like really, really tight with my platform. Like they don't know which way I'm gonna go. How can I trust Tasha? What is she gonna expose? Like they be paranoid around me, right? And I get it, so I'm used to it. But I literally said to her in the exchange in the text messages, I said, hey, keep your man off social media. And so she was like, why? My friends told me that you was looking for stuff on my man. I ride for mine. Now, he ain't her husband now. He's her boyfriend. Mind you, this lady is well in her 40s, okay? I don't think she's ever been married, and this is her boyfriend, okay? So this is not a husband. Talking about me and mine, we ride for mine. He's supposedly Nigerian. I don't know. And it was just really, really salty. Then she sent me a text message of her friend saying, hey, girl, Tasha K looking for information on your man. And I was like, baby Kendra, we don't look for information on nobody. Your people send it to me. How was that Kendra G scrutinizing women about their requirements and preferences in a mate when she's parading around Los Angeles and being love bombed by Hush Puppy Jr., the Nigerian Deo, a.k.a. Donovan Johnson, a.k.a. Don Johnson, a.k.a. Reginald Green, a.k.a. Terrence Reed, a.k.a. James Wright, a.k.a. Timothy Price, and the list goes on. She is head over heels in love with a notorious scammer that recently came home from federal prison for bank fraud, credit card fraud, wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering. Her Instagram is at Kendra G. It's Scam Central and screams scam likely. So when I did drop this email in her DM, as I told her I would, and text her, she didn't say a goddamn thing. But she had a lot of motherfuckers out trying to keep me or trying to scare me from even receiving this information. That's how I knew that something like this could be true.
And instead of taking her L's on the chin and accepting the fact that she chose wrong, she has decided to lash out at Tasha K and other content creators who have used snippets from her content to use as talking points on their own platforms, which, let me say, is some of the most hypocritical shit I've ever seen in my life. Imagine me being mad that somebody clipped up something I said or a segment I did here on YouTube and then trying to bash them for it like I'm the reason they have a platform, like I'm the sole reason that they're doing content. Like if it weren't for me, they wouldn't have the ability to produce content. The arrogance she has about herself is clearer now than it's ever been. And recently, Kendra G has had a lot to say about those content creators, and more specifically, men who have used her platform in their videos. What do I mean?
Before I start the show, I want to say something directly to all the bitch-ass men podcasters that can't create original content because no woman would ever call your show. So what you do is you stalk my page all day and you say you do reaction videos. But the truth of the matter is you're bitch ass men. We have all this conversation about women being so masculine. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a bitch ass man trait. A bitch ass man can't build his own page. He can't do it on his own. So we got to find a woman to eat up off of. Because they're not doing it because they really want to give information. No, these are small penis nobodies, could never get attention, can't do it on their own. So they gotta come to my page.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. See, this is where you start to peel back the layers of who Kendra G really is and get a peek at the delusional creature behind the curtain. So let me get this straight, right? You steal a successful man's entire platform. You steal his talking points, his style, his live performances, and adopt it as your own. And show up on a talk show talking crazy like one of the Dizzy broads on your streams. You then lash out at other male content creators because you think that without you existing on YouTube, that we would all just fade away. I think Kendra G has forgotten what she looks like without the expensive wigs beneath that pound of makeup that she packs onto her face. You can't rewrite history, Kendra. Men have not only existed but thrived on YouTube before anyone ever knew who the hell you were. One of those men just happens to be the man you modeled your entire algorithm after in Kevin Samuels. But now it appears as though you're having some kind of revisionist history issue where you seem to have forgotten that nobody paid any attention to you until Kevin passed away.
Kendra, thousands and thousands of people call you.
Yes.
They want to be on the show.
Yes.
They want your advice, but you're single.
That's right, girl, and loving it. Now, you know, I was in a relationship last year, but this is my single season, and I love it. And single does not mean lonely. Single means nobody can't claim me.
Right.
And I got a roster. If you want to join the team, where the camera at, Cameron? Hit me up on Instagram, Kendra G Media. We got space for one. We got space
Because
for
I
one.
love that thing too, but just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean you're not dating.
No.
And that can be your season where you're exploring yourself and what's on the landscape. Future proofing.
Yes.
Kendra.
Oh, you gotta have a job. You have to have an ambition that's gonna go somewhere for sure. I wanna see W-2 forms. I wanna see success records. I wanna meet your mama. I wanna know where you live. Is it in your name? Is it? I need to see the lease, because sometimes
Kendra, I'm not good enough to date. If I were, let me tell you, because we're talking about it from the female gaze to the male. I'm just talking in general. If I had gone on a date with someone and they started asking me about my W-2s and my bank account, they would have been seeing the gas come out of the pipes of my car.
Yes.
Because that's too, I'm intimidated now.
Well, because women are tired of wasting their time. I'm talking from the woman's perspective.
Yeah.
So they're like, I don't want to make you be already made. I don't got clay. I'm not magic.
But guys don't want that either. They don't want to make us.
Well,
You know, it's amazing that she's quote unquote single and loving it now. But just a little while ago, you were running around saying, my man, my man, my man. And you know, it's not anything new or a big deal. Relationships fail every day. But to all of a sudden act like the single life is the bee's knees is actually pretty contradictory to what her entire platform presents to her audience. Like, nobody finds it strange that she's promoting single life on Tamron Hall's talk show, yet she has a dating app that she pushes on her platform that you have to pay for, that's geared towards people securing relationships and finding love. No one finds this strange.
You don't find that suspicious?
But whatever, I get it. She's just basically trying to fill up the gaping hole that Kevin left in the YouTube community, and she's getting a bag while doing it, which, listen, I'm not mad at. But don't sit there and put out content talking about how if it wasn't for you, then other content creators would be shit out of luck. Like, ma'am, the space existed before you, and it'll be around long after you slide that wig off your head for the last time. And moreover, what I'm noticing is that a lot of these content creators who make it over 100,000 subs, they get this sense of a self-inflated ego. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And they start talking wild, like we don't remember when y'all was struggling to get views just like all of the other new channels on YouTube. But now that your channel got some traction, you an icon. Man, listen. This app got y'all living in a space of delusion and privilege. But if YouTube died tomorrow, so would your media career. You'd be just like everybody else that depends on YouTube for them checks, scrambling for a regular 9-to-5 job. But if nobody watched Kendra G's segment on Tamron Hall, you really got a close-up look at the difference between class personified and Tamron Hall, someone who is successfully married and wealthy, and the contrast of that with Kendra G, who's still trying to achieve that first part of the equation. And if it weren't for YouTube, it wouldn't be mentioned in the second part of that equation. I understand we all want to quote unquote pop our shit when we elevate and get to a certain level of success or visibility, but it's dangerous to forget the place in which you started. Kendra G's appearance on Tamron Hall's show was honestly just embarrassing. And it was almost as if she didn't expect Tamron Hall to push back on the bullshit she was openly spewing on air. And Tamron Hall didn't check her in a mean or nasty way. She kept it 100% classy. But she was able to relay her thoughts in a way that let everyone in the audience know that the type of mentality that Kendra was trying to get a cosign for is dangerous. And it should not be adopted by the masses. But you know what? That's what class looks like. And Tamron Hall is how class operates in the face of poor character and entitlement. And after all that, despite hosting a show based on finding quality relationships by connecting like-minded people, it appears that Kendra still has so very much to learn. See y'all on the next one.